Hello everyone, today we are going to be talking about missing lore points that exist within the game. So there are actually quite a few missing lore points that we have no idea whatsoever about. Well, we have some facts and information, but other than that, we don't really have much information about them. So, we are actually going to check them out now. Let's go and check them out. So the first one exists within Wubblin Island. Oh, let's get rid of that. And then we are going to look at Wubbox. So let's just get rid of all this so we can take a look at Wubbox, because Wubbox has a relationship between Galvana that we don't really know much about. Now we know Galvana has an orb that looks very similar to Wubbox's orb on their staff. Galvana has, and then Wubbox has it in their sort of central area. If we go down, when not cavorting with its supernatural family, the Wubbox could be found wistfully carving the initials W, B, and G, V in nooks and crannies out of sight. Not sure what that's about. So clearly, Wubbox has some sort of sophisticated relationship between Galvana. Now I am in no way a shipper, but if Wubbox was going off and carving, you know, the initials of another monster, which it obviously is, GV is clearly Galvana, right? Okay, that's settled now. But if a monster was doing that, wouldn't you raise your eyebrows a bit? It's literally got a plus sign, so clearly there's a bit of shipping going on here. Oh dear, I've said the ship word. Uh-oh. I imagine I'm gonna get some angry comments now. So what we are going to do now is, we have actually looked at that, haven't we? But there are also some other lore points we need to discuss, don't we? Now, Fire Oasis is the next missing lore point we are going to discuss about, because Fire Oasis's Colossal was manufactured, and the island was completely manufactured on top of water, as we know from the Fire Oasis trailer. But the question is, how exactly was this achieved, and what does this mean for other Colossals? Because if the monsters can make Colossals themselves, does that mean that other Colossals were made? Were they naturally found? Or is this just a one-off manufactured Colossal? Honestly, who knows? So let's move on to the next one, because we have no more information about that. The next lore point we are going to look at is, why exactly don't the Colossals' eyes open? Because, I mean, this is a bit of a mystery to me, because on Composer Island, the eye opens for a second. So why on earth does it not open on the other islands? Are they asleep? Are they in a very deep slumber? Or is there something else stopping them? I guess we'll never know. Next missing lore point that we do not know about is, why did Starhenge fall from the sky? So from the Celestial Island trailer, we know that Starhenge fell from the sky to form Celestial Island. And how on earth was the Colossal even there in the first place? Like, it's so odd to me. How was a Colossal just there, where it just fell and then the Colossal was there? There's clearly something like magical going on here. There's some other aspect that we clearly do not have a clue about. And then, of course, we have Wubblin Island once more. Wubblin Island is quite jam-packed, isn't it? With theories, if we look at it. Now we know about the Wubblins, don't we? The Wubblins are a species of monster created by the one and only Wubbox. Now, whilst we do not know Wubbox is tied to Galvana, and whether Galvana made Wubbox or not, I have theorized this before, but how exactly did Wubbox make the Wubblins? Was it by... Because we know the statues exist, so, and they require energy, don't they? So we know that much, but how were these statues made by Wubbox? Did Wubbox have to share some of its energy? Perhaps, is that why Wubbox requires so much energy? Because it shared so much energy between its counterparts that it just requires so much energy that it requires every single Wubblin on Wubblin Island. I mean, Galvana doesn't even require that. I mean, Galvana just simply requires all of the natural monsters, and that's it for Galvana, so why on earth does Wubbox require so much? Like, obviously you could just say, oh, it's Wubbox, of course it's going to require that much, because it needs all the natural monsters, but it is something to look at, isn't it? Because there's quite a bit of energy and work done there, isn't it? And then we have the big one. The big top of the cake thing that we have absolutely no idea about. So I think this is one of the biggest theory sort of lore point things in existence, because no one knows where it is and there's tons of theories about it. So we are going to look at that now, because I think we just need to, don't we? I really can't express how much of sort of how big this lore point is, and it's never really been discussed, and it's just an element sitting there. Now, I'm not sure if they've discussed this on Messy Monsters Live or not, but if they have, then they have. But other than that, I have no idea about this, so we are just going to discuss it, okay? So, I've got Dawn of Fire open now, and we are going to go to Starhenge. Okay. So, the floating rock goes round here. Ignore the castle. It was from a glitch, but Big Blue Bubble never fixed it for me. Oh, dear. I think they forgot, but oh well. There was a glitch in my game, and then they never fixed it. So let's just wait for the floating rock. So, oh, here we go. The floating rock has an element on it, and we have no idea what this means. This symbol appears quite a bit. It appears on the Ethereal Island paths. We have no idea what this element exactly is. I just have no idea. It's so big. It's so big of a lore point. I mean, it's unmissable. It's unreal how this has been missed, and like we have no idea about it. And now, of course, you knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Let's discuss the continent splitting up. So, we all know, like from the Firehaven trailer, how it happened. But we don't know what happened between the Mirror Islands, and whether there's a Mirror sort of continent somewhere out there. We don't know anything to do with that. So we are now going to discuss the ripping apart of the continent to the natural islands, because there are quite a few missing lore points here. So let's discuss that now. So, as the memorials say, the fire elementals lived in peace on the continent, then the continent broke apart, then the monsters had to seek sort of safety, but the fire elementals locked themselves away in the volcano, and each one went to their elements, except the fire ones, which perhaps needed the sort of magma, perhaps, because the sort of like magma sort of theme is very prevalent on the fire islands, isn't it? So perhaps the fire monsters really could not live without that sort of heat. And even the fire oasis, that's still got some sort, it looks like it's got some sort of magma substance underneath. If you look at the critter as well, the shadow outline, it just looks lit up, and you can see that there's some sort of magma perhaps going on in there. So I think that's why. But anyway, we also see a Colossal here, so once again, no idea how that happened. Did they just appear? No idea whatsoever. Anyway, another missing lore point. I know, there's a lot to do with continent, trust me. Another missing lore point is, how far exactly do the caverns underneath Tribal Island go? Because we know that the memorial cave paintings rather, it's not memorials, silly me. The cave paintings exist underneath, and we know that this told the tale. Why didn't the monsters precisely go underneath? We have no idea. That's another lore point that we have absolutely no idea about. But in other words, let's just discuss over that again. So, the caverns have cave paintings, we know that. But we also know that other cave paintings exist of the Dawn of Fire monsters, as revealed when the game first released. And we see them throughout, don't we? For example, when Kane lifts her arm up in the cave. So, perhaps all the fire elemental monsters are visible down here. Why Kane only looks at one at a time is debatable. Perhaps they appear over time. some sort of magic going on there. I don't really think that's logical. Perhaps it's very deep and it takes some kind of exploring to go through, but from the Firehaven trailer, it did not look that deep. Like, it didn't look... the cave paintings were close together. It didn't look like too much of a venture to go out on. Okay, I think that's about it for the missing lore points. There is one last one I'd like to go over. And this is in My Sea Monsters, so we're just going to stay in Dawn of Fire for now, though. And it is the crystal that Kana comes out of. I have no idea how the crystal works. That's about it, though. That's all for today, guys. I'll see you later. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button to stay up to date, and the notification bell to stay up to date with my uploads. And I'll see you all later. If you have any videos you'd like to see from me, make sure to comment them down below. And I'll see you all later. Bye.